Animals and humans interact in a variety of different capacities. Human-animal relationships can procure positive emotions and other positive welfare outcomes. Every day, humans interact with animals for long periods of time. They bring them into their homes to provide them with a safe place and a loving family. They invest money and effort into the protection of wildlife throughout the world. Some people, however, do not follow these values. They neglect and leave the animals instead of providing them with a home. When a woman discovered an abandoned cat and chose to keep it and take care of it, she had no idea she was holding a great treasure. Even though many people are willing to try their best to protect the creatures that live in our world, they have no control whatsoever over what others could possibly do. Animals are vulnerable creatures, and that's why they're frequently endangered because of this. As many people do not know how to handle or to take care of them, or don't want to do so in the first place, animals frequently find themselves on the streets or homeless, which means their prospects of surviving are quite poor. That's exactly what happened to one cat, but its fate was about to change, and the story was about to be something else. The story happened in 2016 when a particular woman was walking near her home when she heard a faint squeak coming from a dumpster. At that same exact moment, the woman rushed into action as soon as she realized where the screams were coming from. She proceeded to pick the small cat out of the garbage and checked it closely. The kitten was in poor health. It was blind and 7 days old, with a fractured limb and a wounded claw. It couldn't do anything. The lady was able to tell that the kitten had been through a lot at such a young age. It was pretty obvious since she was suffering from injuries and illnesses. It was a helpless little creature. After all, the defenseless and small animal was trapped in the garbage because she wasn't capable of doing anything due to its lack of sight and capacity to move or leap out. It was completely impossible to say how long it had been there. It may have been there since birth, or it could have just been there for a few hours. In all cases, the woman realized the kitten's calls for rescue. It obviously needed help. As she stared at the cat, the woman got overwhelmed with emotion. Who could be so cruel and unthoughtful this much? Who could possibly throw a baby cat into a dumpster? Shortly after, the lady realized she had to help this cat in any way she could, so she held it in her arms and carried it home with her. She was adamant that she would progressively nurse the cat back to health, treat its diseases, and provide it with all the love and care it really deserved. She intended to give the cat a new lease on life and draw her path back to health. At first, it was really scared, but despite the cat's initial fear of the woman, she earned the kitten's confidence, and the kitten became considerably more at ease in her care and much more comfortable than she was before. All of her love and attention that the woman showered her with seemed to pay off in the end. The kitten started to make progress. She began to gain weight, became less apprehensive around humans, and became healthier day by day. Unfortunately, the kitten's wounded paw had to be removed, but the kitten seemed to adjust well to its new existence. As a matter of fact, the kitten was on its way back to health and doing some animal-related things. While all the people may be praising and thanking the woman for rescuing the unfortunate cat and nurturing it back to health, it appears that this isn't the first time she stepped up and decided to help an animal in need. The more time passed, the more this woman had become highly devoted to the creatures that lived with her, and the more she got attached to them throughout time. Whenever she came across an injured or abandoned animal, she would either nurse it back to health on her own or take it to an animal shelter where they'd feed it and it would be properly cared for. The woman, on the other hand, was surprised by something about this tiny cat. She appeared to have a unique bond with it. Their relationship grew stronger with time and was eager to see the kitten mature into a tough and healthy creature. When it was to make a decision, instead of taking the kitten to a shelter to be rehomed, the woman opted to keep it for herself. While she was pleased with her choice, there was one problem. The kitten was in desperate need of a name. Before long, the mother and her family had decided on the name Martyr and had welcomed it into their family for good as they were introducing to the rest of the world. Martyr didn't take that much of a long time to be familiar with everything, and it quickly adjusted to its new surroundings. However, its journey was far from done. Vodka Holy, the user, uploaded a collection of cat photos on Imgur in 2017. After a while, the lady behind the Vodka Holy pseudonym was eventually discovered to be the niece of the woman who had saved the kitten and had wished to inform the internet about Martyr and her aunt's experience with the kitty. Martyr's story was a big thing, but some people couldn't believe the kitty had been through so much in such a short period of time. Martyr was able to win over the internet with just a few photos of her growing. One of the primary reasons for this was Martyr's small size. Due to the fact that the lady had no idea where the child's mother was, she had to hand-feed it milk bottles, and it was these kind of photographs that swept the internet away with their sweetness. However, the appearance of the cat intrigued the interest of many users. It was beyond beautiful. It had white fur, which was very typical for a cat, but tortoiseshell markings, which were somewhat unique and very unusual to see, especially on a cat. As Martyr drank bottle after bottle of milk, the kitten grew larger and larger. It began to grow very fast. By January, the Vodka Holy account shared even more images of the kitten, telling all of its followers that the kitten was growing up very quickly and appearing more and more like a cat as the days passed. With each post, Martyr was growing more and more to have its own fan base and followers, and Imgur users were loving it. However, they need confirmation that the kitten was in good health. Martyr quickly had its own fan base, with fans checking in on Vodka Holy on a regular basis to see how the cat was doing and if it was enjoying its new life with the woman. Vodka Holy was more than glad and happy to reassure Martyr's followers that the cat was doing well in its new home, and she couldn't help but add that the kitten was growing in size by the day due to all the milk it was having on a daily basis. In addition, it turned out that for the abandoned cat, things were finally looking up and going very well. The lady who rescued Martyr and helped her regain its health back had thought that the kitten would have no more shocks in its life, but it appears that she was the one who was expecting one. Sometimes owners of kittens must usually wait a month or more after they're born to learn the genders of their babies, as is sometimes difficult to tell if they're male or female at such an early age. The woman, on the other hand, was positive and quite certain that Martyr was a girl. We can only imagine how much she was stunned when she discovered he was, in fact, a boy. What a surprise for the woman and her family, right? They were taken aback by the shocking news due to the fact that they'd already assumed Martyr was indeed a girl. Martyr's breed and gender were not particularly common in the cat society, thus it came as a surprise to the vets. As a matter of fact, Martyr is a Calico, a cat breed that's exclusively female. Because ginger cats are mostly one gender, they are numerous and so many cat patterns similar to this one in the animal world. Ginger cats are almost invariably males in this situation, with a male-to-female ratio of 3:1. Martyr was instantly seen and considered as a celebrity as a result of all of this. With only a few male calico cats in the world, he was in a league by himself and a unique breed among cats. The woman who had saved the cat in the first place, even though she was unaware of what she just saved, was overjoyed to learn that she rescued such a rarity. And she even felt Martyr had defied the odds by surviving the way he did. She had no clue how unique he was and how unique he would become to those who knew him. Not long after the woman's niece heard about the genetic lottery her aunt's cat had just won, she was so excited and couldn't wait to log on to Imgur and spread the news to all the people who had seen about Martyr's life and what he really was. She didn't miss the chance to notice how remarkable and special it was, and his rarity didn't go unnoticed by the vet. Martyr truly and amazingly surpassed the odds with his birth, as calico males are quite rare. Only one male is born for every 3,000 females in the world. This is the same as being hit by lightning at any point in somebody's life, which is a very rare hypothesis. Imgur's people didn't take that long and were quick to congratulate the family for the exceptional news of adopting such a rare species and welcoming it into their home. And they couldn't believe how fast Martyr's life had changed in such a short notice. Not only that, but many people also stated that calico males are extremely rare, but it was not easy to just go and adopt them whenever we decide, because in order to bring a kitten into this world, families would have to search for particular breeders. One user was so thrilled by the news that they decided to give Martyr a new nickname, complete with a funny pun. Now everyone was calling it a Calibro kitten. It's well known that calico cats are a kind of domesticated cat that has 3 different colored coats. They're usually predominantly white, with a big black and orange spots. Calico can be found in a variety of different breeds. It's only their color that distinguishes them from others. Orange and black hair, for example, is associated with the X chromosome, which is present in both male and female cats. Males, on the other hand, are usually simply black or orange since they only have one X. When the calico pattern appears on a male, it indicates that he has 2 X and 1 Y chromosome. Although Martyr's life is exceptional for its rarity, there's something about Martyr's uniqueness that places him at a disadvantage. Due to the fact that he's naturally sterile due to a blip in the male calico chromosome, therefore he cannot produce his own litter throughout his life. Unfortunately, this means that the woman and her niece will not be gifted with cute mini martyrs during his lifetime, but they may rest easy knowing that their cat is now having a lot better life than the one he would have had while being homeless on the street. You'll be relieved to learn, though, that Martyr is not the only male calico cat to have made headlines in recent years. Another male calico has just come to the forefront of the media's attention, and he immediately has loved and enjoyed the spotlight. Sherman was a street cat discovered by the Humane Society Silicon Valley Neighborhood Adoption Center and was also looking for a family to adopt and take care of him. Hopefully his fame helped him and he wouldn't have to wait long for something good to happen to him. Martyr has officially forgotten his past, found his forever home, and is now living in luxury and very comfortably with his rescuer and her family. Despite the fact that he didn't get off to a good start, we hope the cat has moved on from the tragedies of his first 7 days on Earth and is now focused on the future that's waiting for him. He doesn't leave his new owner's side, after all, and he appears to be quite happy and pleased with them. He spends the most of his time attached or clinging to his owner's shoulders and snuggling with him. It's incredible to consider that Martyr might be somewhere else right now. Things would go on a different direction for him and he might not have survived the incident if the woman hadn't been walking toward the trash at the same time he was meowing to call for help. He may not have been discovered by someone as compassionate and caring as the woman. He may not have survived and even made it through the night. And he may not have reached the kind of celebrity he has today. Although it's disheartening to think that there are more animals on the streets like Martyr, it's reassuring to know that people are willing to assist. When word of Martyr's story, because of his rescue and special characteristics, people couldn't get enough of him. It didn't take long for his story to go viral, and it was quickly picked up by a number of internet publications. Honest to Paws, Scribble, Animal Channel, Like Mag, Little Things, and Cat O'Clock were outlets, and much other media published Martyr's story. Martyr's cute tiny face, along with the fact that he's a rare male calico cat, made him impossible to resist. Martyr was without any doubt very lucky to have been saved at such a young age. But it's possible that it was all due to the fact that he was a calico. Calicos are seen and considered to be omens of good luck in several cultures. Sailors in Japan used to carry calicos on their boats to bring good luck, and one train station even had a calico as the station master. Calicos are sometimes referred to as money cats in the United States, with the belief that they're lucky charms. Who knows what kind of luck Martyr will have in the future? The Irish are known for their mythological stories and traditions, but you might be shocked to find that calico cats have their own mythology and legends. According to the legend and myth, you can get rid of a wart by rubbing it with the tail of a calico cat. This, however, may only be done in the month of May. We're not sure where this urban myth started and came from, but if you develop a wart in May, maybe this will help. The calico cats are now more than famous. Their community received some extremely wonderful news in October 2001. Calico cats have been selected as the official cat of the state of Maryland. Officials decided that the white, orange, and black coloring was very similar to that of the state bird, the Baltimore Oriole, and the state insect, the Baltimore checkerspot butterfly. Maryland seemed to prefer this color. Martyr and his calico friends, on the other hand, are in good company. Calico's popularity isn't that new, and they've long been a part of our popular culture for a long time. The Eugene Field was a writer who authored The Duel, a children's poem about a calico cat in the late 1800s. In Japan, the gingham dog and the calico cat was eventually made into a song and a children's book. The beckoning cat statues, as well as Maneki Nico or luck cats in Japan, that you probably see waving to you in store windows were inspired by the calico cat. These figures are now incredibly popular everywhere all around the world. Calicos aren't the only type of coat with different colors. As a result, many people mix them up and confuse them. And that's why the tortoiseshell cats are frequently confused with them. Tortoiseshells, like calicos, refer to the cat's coat rather than the breed, and it includes the colors orange and black. Calicos can be different from others by the fact that they include a lot of white. Furthermore, tortoiseshell colors are usually swirled together, whereas calicos are presented in separate patches. Calico cats have grown extremely popular all across the world, for the main part because people were adoring the patterns and colors on their coats. However, because it's so difficult to predict, there's no assurance that you'll be able to reproduce those patterns and colors through breeding. Most expert cat breeders avoid attempting to breed calicos because they understand that it's purely a matter of chance of the draw. Even if you do manage to produce a litter of calicos, the coat patterns will be a complete risk. There are various ways to find a gorgeous calico cat like Martyr to call your own. Some individuals choose to buy their cats from a breeder, however this is usually the most expensive choice to make. Instead, you might want to consider adopting a cat from a shelter. This is not just a less expensive solution, but there are many wonderful cats in shelters looking for new homes and a safe place to live in. By taking them in, you, just like Martyr's owners, may be saving one of their lives